Welcome to Buy, Hold, Sell. My name's Matthew Kidman, and today we have David Allingham for Eley Griffiths and Simon Conn for Investors Mutual, and we're talking about New Zealand across the ditch, one of the few bright spots around the globe. The economy is going very nicely. Simon, we'll start with you. Great icon of New Zealand business, building materials group, Fletcher Building. Buy, hold or sell?
Buy. Look, it's reasonably priced still. It's had a good run, but I think it's sort of 15, 14 times yielding 4.5%. Going through a big restructure, new management in place under Mark. I think he's put new divisional managers, particularly their Australian business, which has been underperforming for a while. I think there's upside there. And much like, John Howard's we saw in Australia, I think, New Zealand's got some really good growth ahead of it. So, I think it's a buy. Yep,
it's got assets in New Zealand, but it's got them in Australia, it's got them overseas in the US and whatnot. Fletcher Building, buy, hold or sell, Dave?
I agree with Simon, it's a buy, Matthew. Look, I just love the integrated nature of their New Zealand business. Mark Adamson, the CEO, there's done a great job making that business more efficient. There's more to come there. And just looking at, just as an example, their commercial construction division has a record order book, 3.3 billion, and that kind of construction really pulls through their whole distribution network as well. So I think they're going to benefit and have a good FY17 year as well.
Okay, let's roll the chips. Sky City. Buy, hold or sell?
Look, Sky City, again, we love the New Zealand thematic. Look, that business really is a New Zealand play. It does have a business in Adelaide and Darwin, but the real driver is Auckland. Look, it's in a great position. There's obviously been great numbers of inbound tourism. I call that a neutral today. Sorry, I should have said that earlier. But the only reason I don't have a buy on it is really they've had to raise money to de-risk the balance sheet ahead of quite a heavy investment program the next 2 years, and that holds me back because it's been a bit dilutive to earnings growth in the next 2 years.
Casinos are normally pretty safe bets. Simon?
Yep.
Sky City?
Look, it's a hold. It looks pretty full, about 18 times, but it's a great asset. The thing that drives Sky City, and I've covered it for 15 years, is the Auckland gaming machines, and they're just a great...
Monopoly?
It's a great asset, and tourism, New Zealand's booming. They've got a very strong Asian demographic in Auckland as well, and where Auckland goes, basically, typically where Sky City goes, and I think it's got some strong thematics there. So it's well positioned. I think it's a hold.
We're all about to pull into the service station and plug it into the wall and not fill it up with fuel. Service stations, Z Energy, buy, hold or sell?
Well, both my cars, you need a lot of fuel in them still, Matthew, and I'm still paying a fuel bill. So I think fuel's got a long way to go in this part of the world. I think Z, they've got the synergies from the acquisition to come through, and that will drive material earnings growth in the next couple of years. On a 13, 14 times PE in a couple of years' time, it looks actually quite reasonable. So I think it's still a buy.
The world's changing. Service stations?
Yes, Matthew.
Especially in New Zealand?
I think Z Energy is a sell. I agree with Simon. The next year or two is going to be excellent for that business in a bottom-up earnings perspective. But where I do struggle is just the overarching thematic around more efficient cars. That's fuel cars, the hybrids that are coming on the roads, and then obviously electric on a more sort of 5 to 10 year view. It's just a pervasive thematic for me that means I think the stock will struggle to re-rate or at least command a higher multiple. So you're really reliant on the earnings, which I think they'll deliver, but I don't see enough upside there to get excited about it.
Okay, let's go with a company now that's had a great homegrown advantage, done a terrific job, won the internet market, Trade Me Group. Buy, hold or sell? It's
a buy, Matthew. Look, it's the eBay of New Zealand, it's the realestate.com, it's the Seek, and it's the car sales of New Zealand. I think it's a very special asset. They've been through 2 years of cost investment. We think the downgrade cycle's bottom there. Look, it's a buy. I think they're going to make more and more money out of their premium, upselling on their premium as they get more sophisticated in their pricing. It's going higher.
As Dave said, it's virtually owned that New Zealand market. Mature business for a fairly new industry. Buy, hold or sell, Trade.
Yeah, look, it's a good management. It's been through a huge reinvestment phase. I think they fell behind the curve under previous ownership of Fairfax, and they've done a really good job of repositioning the business. I think there's just a lot in the price for Trade Me. They haven't had any competition up to date, and I think they'll face new competition at some stage. So, look, I think it'll be getting tougher for them to grow, and I just think it's a hold. It looks pretty fully priced at the moment.
Okay, if a company is representative of the New Zealand and taken on the world is accounting software group Xero. Buy, hold or sell?
Xero is their profits, so it's a sell for me. It makes no money. Lost $80 million last year. We can't own that. It looks very full. I don't know how you value something at $2.5 billion that loses money.
Xero by profits, Xero by name. Buy, hold or sell, Dave?
Look, I actually think it's a buy. I agree with Simon. There's challenges. I think that's one of the challenges all of us as investment managers are facing is how to value these businesses. What I like about Xero is that Matrix Capital and Excel Partners and also Peter Thiel and some of the smartest money out of Silicon Valley have basically funded these guys at about current stock price today. They're in there for the long haul. It's got 250 million cash on the balance sheet. We think that'll see them through to break even, and I just love the momentum they've got. Other comps in the market like Aconex are trading at a premium to that, and I don't think they are true global SaaS businesses, which Xero definitely gives you the opportunity. There's not many of these in our neck of the woods, as you pointed out.
So the New Zealand share market is an exciting place, and the New Zealand country is more than a sheep wrapped in an All Blacks jersey.